Welcome to Wrong Time Watch. My name is Kevin, and today we're looking at the Nove. It's spelled Nove. Not exactly sure how to pronounce it, but this is the thin diving watch, also known as the Trident E001-02. Retail price on this is $450. However, I was on their website last night and I noticed they have a 20% off discount code for the pre-order of this watch. Well, to summarize, it is a very unique timepiece. I've never had anything in my hands, nor have I seen anything like this before. It has a lot of wrist presence, but it is very thin. It's amazingly thin for a 200-meter dive watch. Sorry about that. Yeah, the watch kind of perplexes me a little bit. 60 click bezel. You can actually see the click springs there and the little ratchet teeth, gear teeth, whatever on there. It is a quartz watch. There is not a second hand present on here. The bezel is not exactly the easiest thing to use. So it's clearly a dive style watch. Yes, it is rated for 200 meter, but you would not use this for diving. It does have a sapphire crystal on the front. It is a Swiss made watch. It does have a Swiss quartz movement. Yeah, it says right there prominently on the dial, Swiss made. And then there's the N. It does have super luminova. I have not looked at the lume on this, so we'll look at it together towards the end of the video. It does have a screw down crown. It is a signed crown. The crown is a little thin at, what did I measure this at? 5mm crown. So the lug to lug on this is 49. The case diameter is 46. And the thickness, or in this case, the thinness of this watch is 6.8mm thin. You can see the screwed lug bars there. It's not a spring bar. Not that you would be changing this out for anything else anyway, unless you wanted to perhaps custom fit a silicone strap in there. The crown size is 5mm, and the bezel at the farthest out point measures at 48mm. So this, I'm sure, is the largest bezel watch I've ever had my hands on. And it is a flat sapphire crystal. You know, just looking at this, if you were to wear this on a beach or whatever, I'm sure you get sand all in here. But it's, I guess, to me, it's more of a fashion watch than a functional tool watch. Oh yes, and the bracelet, it starts out at 26 and it tapers down. It tapers down to a 22, which is what most bracelets usually start at. And it does have a butterfly clasp. I'm not a fan of any butterfly clasp. I don't think I've come across a butterfly clasp that I like yet. And this is not one of them either. I mean, yes, it makes your watch look, nice and neat from the bottom. This is a little hard to push in as well. There we go. And you have to put this one in first and then this one second, as it overhangs the bracelet there. So let's get this on wrist. So it is a screwed case back, not a screw down case back. So I'm surprised it does have 200 meter water resistance with those 4 screws. So let's get this on my wrist. It clearly is too big for my wrist, but you'll be the judge of that in a moment here. It is a tad bit tight on my wrist, but if I were to put another link in, it would just be way too loose. So that's the big disadvantage of the butterfly clasp, is you're lacking in adjustability. So here it is on my 6.5-inch wrist. I do have a 52 millimeter wristband, and I measured again the lug to lug on this at 47. So although it does not overhang my wrist, it just looks really gigantic on my wrist, which is funny considering that it's just crazy thin at 6.8. So run that up to 7, and that's still half the thickness of. See, what do I have here? Well, my SKX is 13 and a half with this dome crystal, so it's basically half the thickness of this watch. I'll take this off and we can look at them side by side in a moment here. Let's zoom out. It's just a tad bit large on my wrist. It's just funny looking at it in this view. It just looks gigantic, and then when I rotate my wrist, it almost disappears. Well, other than this big old bracelet. So let's get this off and just look at it briefly compared to the SKX here. Then we can check out the Lume and call it a day. Oh, let me zoom back in. So here it is compared to the trusty old Seiko SKX. Let's look at it in the side view here. And it is, it's quite thin. So let me know what you think of this. Before we get into the Lume, if you could please subscribe to the channel. If you have not, I would appreciate it. Subscribe, ring the bell, like, and comment. All right, let's check out this Lume here. Be right back with the Lume. So I was not missing out on much by not checking out this Lume before the video. Yes, the hands are loomed, but nothing else. No Lume pip, and not even the indices are loomed. And the SKX Lume is clearly much better, so really not much to see here as far as Lume. So as always, thank you for watching, and catch you on the next video.